interested today in seeing all the extensions of Muhammad Ali that are possible, as well as all the other ABG celebrities. Kung Fu Panda, we own 2.4% of Kung Fu Panda, and we think we can acquire up to 50%. This is a show that we expect to do very well across China, and expect to start seeing revenues and cash flow from that later in 2020. Iconic celebrities, a growing catalog. I'm going to have to sort of dive into our consumer plan a bit later, maybe one of our follow-up presentations, and really talk to you about what that means. It's basically an app. You've seen others that are using your face. You saw the virtual try-on app from L'Oreal's Makeup Genius for image metrics, which was incredibly successful. But we'd like to be the world's first virtual bank for the protection, activation of the world's faces. As you have fun with your face, please don't give it away as quickly as you gave away your name and your email address. Scan it, protect it, let us store it for you, and we'll serve it up for you. It's your asset. You should never lose it just because you're having fun with it. And the big idea behind FaceBank is it's the consumer that's the intellectual property, not just the celebrity. And with 2 billion consumers out there that are connected to the internet, many of them scanning their faces into their phones every time they turn on their phones, you should think about where your assets are going, how they're being protected, and how you can have fun with them. So I'm going to wrap it up there, Jack, because we just ran a bit long, but I'm very much looking forward to going through our detailed business model in the future. And quickly, I'd love a question on revenues if we have time, because it's one thing we didn't really touch on the revenue model.
Okay, John, so we're going to start off with questions that came in from the people who registered earlier, and then we'll go to the live audience. So anybody in the live audience is welcome to put in your questions and we'll ask. Okay, so actually, the first question is, Francis has got two questions. What is driving revenue? Trying to see if I can read this question. Okay, what is driving revenue growth? And can you talk more about the Nexway subsidiary, how it generates revenue?
Yeah, so Nexway is a company that was created many years ago. We're thrilled to invite now Softbank as one of the shareholders that came to us through Nexway. It was an internet enabling company that would allow e-commerce companies to engage in commerce globally. I'm sure it would have been valued at an incredible number many years ago. For us, we did not buy it because we wanted to be in the enabling space for third parties, but it has an incredible infrastructure that allows us, as I said, to be in business immediately. In the meantime, we do enjoy the customers that are using the platform. So Microsoft, Adobe, Ubisoft, software companies, security software companies like Kaspersky, content companies. So Nexway basically is able to sort of, move all those downloads out to internet nodes all over the world to make sure that delivery is very efficient. They are licensed to do business in all those countries. That's tougher than you think. They know exactly who to pay in taxes, how to collect in different currencies. That's also very difficult for those of you that have traveled across Asia. And so we expect the revenues of Nexway to grow nicely under our leadership, because we're getting a little more aggressive about the kind of people we can bring into that distribution architecture. So expect that to grow from sort of 200 million to 240 across, the next year. And they're now just at the point where they're reaching the inflection of EBITDA, a positive operating cash flow, in a positive sense. And so not only are they not a drag on us as a great platform to take our new form content apps out to the world, but they're also just now starting to make money. And a lot of their customers, like Kaspersky and others, are very interested in the FaceBank app as a secure ID solution. So we get to cross-market FaceBank through our customers as well. So that's kind of the base of our revenues right now. The highest growth that you're probably going to see in 2020 is both in the acquisition space, where we're able to acquire companies very affordably. Our metrics, our rules are this: if we can buy somebody for 3 times cash flow, and we think that's going to be valued under us as a U.S. public company at 9 times cash flow or 15 times cash flow, depending on their growth, that's a really smart thing for us to do with our stock as a currency. It's going to make your shares go up. I'm the largest shareholder right now, around 30%. It's going to make my shares go up with yours. So acquiring a company at a low multiple of cash flow with significant revenues that will trade at a higher multiple of cash flow, if that business brings us technology, brings us content and IP, if it brings us audience because they have a ton of customers already, that's a deal that we'll do if it's complementary with the longer term goals of FaceBank. And we do believe with our incredible shareholder group, our tremendous investment banking relationships, we are now qualified to be up on major exchanges. So we're going through the uplisting process as we speak. We think our currency and acquisition is going to be very important to revenue growth this year. Now, additional revenue growth organically is going to be project based. So, you know, exactly when in the month do we drop in something with a Mayweather or something with a Kung Fu Panda, whether it's upfront sponsor payments even before ticket sales or pay-per-view advances even before the event. And it's going to be really interesting to see as that stuff drops later in the year, how much organic revenue we're going to get from those projects. But I'll give you an example. One Kung Fu Panda show in one location in, say, Chengdu, China, where the pandas are from, that one show will do 40 million a year in cash flow. And the only question is not, is Panda going to be successful in China? Because it already is what percentage we own of that. And we expect to be increasing through a relationship with Broadway Asia, our percentage ownership of that over the year, maybe to as much as 50%. So that's kind of our revenue plan this year. You're going to see the consumer revenue plan start later in the year. When you scan a face, people always buy something. They're going to buy a shirt with their face, a doll with their face, so they're going to buy their digital products, an avatar. And we've got that projected to start influencing, you know, the fourth quarter of 2020, but really not getting strong until 2021.
Okay. Next question. Tyler asking, what okay, I guess what pay-per-view projects do you have in 2020?
We can only tell you sort of by rule and just disclosure and Reg FD and all that. We can only tell you who we've signed. We've given some very strong guidance on our website talking about what those projects might look like. We do have a profits interest in, you know, a project that is out of our control that we helped launch through our, you know, our development efforts and our technology, and that's virtual ABBA. That project we don't control, you know, what exactly they're going to do with their characters. Is it a music video? Is it a tour? So in the case of the celebrity project, we're thrilled. You know, ABBA gave us credit for coming back together as a band. We put their Instagram post on our website. But on projects like that that are driven by celebrities, it's very much in their control. Mayweather is something we're working on very quickly. I hope all of you will appreciate now that we're finally doing investor relations. We've hired an incredible firm out of San Francisco, the Blue Shirt Group. But, you know, we're now starting to talk about some of those contracts that we signed earlier. You know, we're not an OTC, you know, stock promotion company. We took the Mayweather announcement and we put it into an 8K, and you never even saw a press release because we're more interested in managing the relationship properly with the estate, making sure that when this event happens, it shocks the world. The reason 200 million people went crazy for Tupac is that nobody knew it was coming. Same reaction with Michael Jackson. So expect us as a public company to tell you when we sign a deal with a major celebrity, expect that they wouldn't have signed with us if they didn't have an actionable IP idea, but don't expect us to tell you what the wonderful, incredible, shocking event's going to be before it happens, because shock value has frankly been how we launched the digital human trade. So, you know, that's going to be a little frustrating, but hopefully we surprise you pleasantly with some of the stuff you're going to see from us and our celebrity relationship.
Okay. Next question is, how will you scale?
Well, so let me get back to sort of the answer that I've, let me try and make sure I explain it a little better. You know, when you have an app, just because you come up with this thing that everybody's going to want doesn't mean you can get it out there. You know, I was a major shareholder of eToys. I was a major shareholder of Baby Universe. You know, I went through all those things and wow, it's really exciting, but the orders come in and your warehouse isn't strong enough. You're doubling revenues. The software you bought to help ship stuff, well, that's no longer working. You got to go through an integrate. So we frankly think we've leapfrogged all of that with the acquisition of Nexway, because we literally can show up in our portfolio company with software, with apps, with content that can immediately be turned on in 180 countries in 140 currencies. And please do not underestimate the value of that acquisition. It's as if we're like Amazon and we bought the warehouse and the infrastructure that makes them ship immediately. It's as if that was all bought before you even heard of it, of Amazon, because you've never heard of FaceBank, but we're already at 200 million in revenues, and we've got millions of customers, and we're collecting in 140 currencies. So how you scale is you develop an app, or you prepare a celebrity that's obviously well known to get out in front of the world, either on an entertainment project or another kind of app, and you make sure that when people hear about it, they can access it. When they need to download content, they're downloading it from a location in Japan instead of the slow latency problems all the way back to Florida or New York. Like, we are built, for battle on a global scale. We're already scalable, and our celebrities can reach millions of consumers. Our products are attractive to millions of consumers, and we have the digital commerce distribution infrastructure to make sure when somebody wants us, they can get to us and they can pay for it.
Okay. Got a live question from the live audience question here. David is asking, how much will my virtual face cost me?
Well, we're not going to give you the quality of Michael Jackson, so don't worry. You're going to scan your face either in one of our trucks, which we have planned, and we'll do very few of those, but they're terrific, and you'll see them in all the kind of highly visible marketing locations. That's where you'll get a very high quality photogrammetry scan, just like the big celebrities get, in incredible detail. It'll be fun, and you're probably going to buy something before you leave the truck. We also are thrilled that Authentic Brands Group has some major shareholders that also own some major malls. So expect to see a couple of well-placed kiosks. It'll be a slightly different kind of scanning experience without as many cameras, but it's still going to be very high quality. You're probably going to want to buy something as you walk away from the kiosk, but you're not going to pay for the scan. Your digital likeness is not going to cost you anything. You're going to scan your face. You're going to upload it to us. We're the bank. And, when you call us or log on and say, I'd like to see a super hero alter ego of myself, you might pay us anywhere from 20 cents to $4, or, if you want to download your character into a video game, as a gamer, you're already doing these in-app purchases. Kids are famous for, changing avatars every few days and putting them in different clothes and taking on entirely different characters. So it's not even that your hyper-realistic likeness is going to be what you have fun with. It's going to be all these characters that come off of you. So it's not going to cost you anything to scan your face and become our customer. We feel really confident you're going to use your face, and that's when you're going to start paying our partners, and that's when you're going to start paying us. And here's a neat idea. We're going to treat you as a token. Not that everybody knows what that means, but in the crypto world, that means you are the most protected asset there. We're going to lock your face down in a digital wallet. And as we bring major partners to us that want to market to our customers, that actually allows us to share the revenues with you. Now, Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram, they're making a lot of money off of your assets. They're not sharing with you. Not only that, Facebook is getting sued for $35 billion in a class action lawsuit because they're misusing your facial assets. We see that as being entirely worthy of reversion. You scan your face with us, we protect in your digital wallet. As we bring marketing partners to you, you decide whether or not you want to buy into that marketing program. And we've got a revenue share model that will lay out over time that if we're using your face to make money, as Facebook does, we're going to share those revenues with you just the way we share them with our celebrities.
Okay, next question from David is asking, what are you doing with WeChat?
As I said in the early part of the call, Tencent Holdings invested through one of their portfolio companies called Original Force Animation. They invested $10 million into us with great interest in our technology and how they could use it in their portfolio companies, their traditional animation companies. And we've had deep conversations about what apps would be appropriate for the WeChat audience. We have no specific app right now for the WeChat audience. However, I can tell you what I think they're going to like. I just returned from a trip to China. Happy to say, and I'm sorry for what's going on over there, of course. We were there in early January and got back before the new year. We met with Tencent Holdings again. The FaceBank app, obviously, giving consumers the ability to scan their face, have fun with their face, lock down their face, protect it, enjoy it. That's perfect for the WeChat audience. People at Tencent have told us as much, but we do not have a deal yet. We're just very proud of them as a shareholder.
Okay. Any more questions? Anybody have any last minute questions here? Okay, that wraps it up. All right, John, thank you for the presentation, and we look forward to having you back here next month.
Terrific. Well, thank you, Jack, and thank you everybody for staying on the call. I know we went long, really a full hour. We do have a lot to talk about, but please think about the simplicity of what we are as a business. We're a digital human company. We're developing great technology. We're going to be acquiring great technology. We're going to be acquiring terrific content and intellectual property rights. And, when we're sitting here with 25% of Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, 40% of Michael Jackson, 25% of Muhammad Ali, a small percentage of Kung Fu Panda, I think we've proven that our technology is getting us into some of the greatest and most powerful and attractive IP relationships in the world. But we're really, really looking forward to teaching the consumer, what their likeness is worth and how they can have fun with it. This is the selfie culture. We think their digital selfies are going to be even more fun to them than their photographic selfies. And we think we're in a very good position to consolidate this industry of incredibly talented digital artists and technology people that are stuck in services models that would benefit by being part of the FaceBank family, as we hope you will as shareholders. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Jack, again, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.